Breaking news: a federal judge has thrown out the cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, claiming a crucial legal misstep invalidated their indictments. This decision could have significant implications, potentially reshaping the legal landscape. This ruling, delivered by U.S. District Judge Cameron Currie, centers on the appointment of Lindsey Halligan, the interim U.S. attorney who spearheaded the indictments. The judge declared Halligan's appointment unlawful, rendering all actions taken under her authority, including the indictments, invalid. This is a major win for Comey and James, who have both argued that their prosecutions were politically motivated, a claim they see as vindicated by this ruling. The Justice Department is expected to appeal the decision, setting the stage for a prolonged legal battle. Judge Currie's written opinion was clear: "I conclude that all actions flowing from Ms. Halligan's defective appointment, including securing and signing Mr. Comey's indictment, constitute unlawful exercises of executive power and must be set aside." This statement was mirrored in her ruling on the James case, underscoring the consistency of her judgment. But here's where it gets controversial: the judge's decision means the indictments are dismissed without prejudice. This means prosecutors could potentially bring the charges again, keeping the legal battles alive. Adding another layer of complexity, lawyers for both Comey and James are also challenging the indictments on other grounds, such as claims of vindictive and selective prosecution. Arguments in Comey's case were heard last week, but the judge has yet to issue a ruling on those additional claims. So, who is Lindsey Halligan? Halligan, a former insurance lawyer, previously served on Mr. Trump's defense team in a case handled by former special counsel Jack Smith. She stepped in as the top federal prosecutor for the Eastern District of Virginia on a temporary basis in late September and quickly moved to indict Comey and James. Attorney General Pam Bondi appointed Halligan as interim U.S. attorney after the abrupt departure of Eric Siebert, her predecessor. Bondi invoked a federal law that allows the Attorney General to appoint an interim U.S. attorney for up to 120 days. Interestingly, the Trump administration had previously used this law to install temporary prosecutors in other districts, with 3 different federal judges finding those appointments unlawful. In the Eastern District of Virginia, Siebert was initially appointed for 120 days. When his term neared its end, the federal court voted to keep him in the role, as permitted by law. However, after Siebert's departure, Mr. Trump urged Bondi to install Halligan, who then secured the indictments against Comey and James shortly after taking office. Comey's legal team argued that Halligan's appointment was fundamentally flawed. They claimed that the 120-day clock for interim appointments began with Siebert's initial appointment, thus limiting the total time any interim appointee could serve. Since Siebert had already served his 120 days, only the district court had the authority to appoint a successor, they argued. The Justice Department, however, defended Halligan's appointment, contending that the 120-day limit applied on a per-appointment basis. They argued that each appointment triggered its own clock, requiring the Attorney General to revisit interim selections every 120 days. To further bolster Halligan's position, the Justice Department presented an order from Bondi that retroactively designated her as a special attorney, effectively ratifying her actions before the grand jury. They argued that even if her appointment as interim U.S. attorney was invalid, any government lawyer could present a case to a grand jury or sign an indictment, and Bondi had the authority to make her a government attorney. Arguments on Comey's motion to dismiss the case, based on the appointment issue, were heard earlier this month alongside similar arguments from James's legal team. Like in Comey's case, Halligan was the sole presenter of the case to the grand jury and signed the indictment. What do you think? Do you agree with the judge's decision? Could this ruling set a precedent for future cases? Share your thoughts in the comments below.